Hi, and welcome back to another Creator Collab for January. We are going to be answering a question by a viewer, and she wanted to ask this question right here. What strategies do you use to cope with your individual autistic struggles? Like, what works best for you to manage executive functioning? We're going to dive into this topic, and I want to thank these people for being a part of the collab this month. You're going to see some familiar faces as well as a couple new faces. Let's just get right into it. The biggest one for me is planning. And when you are a mother, your wife, you have kids, grandkids, it's pretty much essential to have to do planning for everything. Planning for who is needing appointments, when those are coming up, what am I going to make for supper, how are the bills going to be paid, all that kind of things that I call adulting in life, all the things that are unfun but are difficult for me to handle. I have to do things like daily to-do lists, because if I don't do these daily to-do lists for planning, I'm more likely to do nothing. I have to do this to get unstuck. And then to keep up with appointments and things, I have to use a calendar. I have this big calendar, and it's a daily reminder, and everybody in the house can see it. It's in a central location, and it really helps out for me to see at a quick glance what is coming up. As well as if I go to the doctor and they give me an appointment, as soon as I get in the car, I have to put it in my phone. And then I come home from my phone and put it on the big calendar when I remember to do that. But it's all a system that works well when I use it and utilize it. Doctor visits, I just got to where I couldn't remember at this point in my life. So I had to purchase this, and I got it on Amazon, and it's been a lifesaver. You can get one for every family member if you want to. But this was really a game changer for me for keeping up with my appointments, what me and the doctor talked about. And part of your question you asked, how do you get unstuck when you feel stuck? For me, I literally have to go out the door and go somewhere. If I can get my body in motion going somewhere, I'm more likely to come home and feel like I can tackle a few things. So that is one of my methods to get unstuck.
Hello, my name is Sienna, and I just want to start out by really telling Jenny that I'm grateful for what she does when it comes to her community and helping us autistic individuals and helping us to navigate the world. I love what she does. So, to answer the question about how I deal with executive functioning, so first off, I have a schedule up on the wall, and I have made some cards, and I put all the tasks that I want to get done, or the tasks that should be done when it comes to each day of the week. And all the cards are in Braille, so that way I can read them. And then there's Velcro on the back of each card. So I put all the cards that I would like to get done, of all the tasks that I'd like to get done during the day. I put them on the board. And the tasks that I have gotten done, I take the card out and put it in the basket and look at what else I have. And that really seems to help a lot. And for emotional regulation, I have certain fidgets and other things that I use to help when I'm emotionally dysregulated. I also have musical instruments because I love to create and express myself through music. I love to communicate through music. So I have certain musical instruments that I either carry around with me, or maybe I'm feeling like I want to play this certain instrument. Maybe I want to play the piano to express my emotions. Or maybe I want to sing to express how I'm feeling. And when it comes to time management and executive function, I have an hourly chime that I have downloaded onto my phone, and it will go off every half hour so I know what time it is and when I need to get things done, or when I need to start planning to leave, maybe to do something. That has really helped me a lot. I hope this has really helped other people, and thank you.
Jenny and friends, my name is Heather, and I'm a late diagnosed ADHDer. I have autism and ADHD and was recently diagnosed at 46. And I was very intrigued by Jenny's prompt this week for executive functioning issues, because that is one of the things that drove me towards getting a diagnosis. My mother passed away about 3 years ago, and I was her caretaker. She had cancer. And it was an extremely traumatic period for me, taking care of her as well as her loss. And after that traumatic experience, I noticed a steep decline in my functioning abilities. Things that I was capable of doing before, I was not necessarily capable of anymore. And I'm still, 3 years later, recovering from this burnout and this skill regression and this executive functioning issues. I can say, though, that throughout the years I have come up with my own accommodations and my own workarounds for my executive functioning issues. I'm a very visual thinker, so planning things out visually, making a list, like for food, I will plan out a week's worth of meals and write them down so that when I come home and I need to think of something to eat, I'm not quite so overwhelmed with the prospects that there are. When my children were smaller, I would lay all their clothes out for the week, and we had cubbies labeled with each day's clothing, things like that. And at work, I have visual reminders, post-it notes. I have a desk calendar that I can write things on. So being able to see things helps trigger my brain to remember them and that they need to be done. My executive functioning has not recovered fully, though, and I don't know that it ever will. I don't know that we ever really recover from burnout, and I know that's a topic for a whole nother day. But those are my struggles. Paying bills is one of the biggest ones right now, as far as executive functioning goes. Remembering to pay them and paying them on time has been something that I've definitely suffered with lately. Thank you, Jenny, for inviting us all to be part of this collaboration, and I look forward to hearing everyone's stories about their struggles with the executive functioning issues that people with autism and ADHD often face on a day-to-day basis.
Hi, friends of Jenny, which makes you friends of mine. It's Dr. Liesel here, your fellow autistic sojourner trying to make it through this crazy world. How do I deal with executive functioning challenges? I really appreciate this question because it made me think, how can I be more purposeful about my executive functioning challenges, which are many? And I thought about this little tool that I've been using called a window of tolerance ruler, and how helpful it can be for this. And so what it is, and I painted this little version for you, is this little ruler where the yellow is these zones where I feel peaceful. And then here it's moving out to feeling shame. And here it's moving out to feeling fear. Because when I thought about what challenges my executive functioning the most, it's when I'm feeling fear or shame. And I've been using this to try to get myself back into this zone of feeling peaceful, of feeling like I'm okay as an autistic person with all just the way that I am, all my differences, just feeling like I'm safe and secure and soothed and just seen and loved for who I am. And so, what I've been doing is writing out the thoughts that I'm having when I'm really feeling befuddled and responding to myself the way that I would to someone I love. So, when my mind is all confused, if I slow down and write out my thoughts, and if I could figure out what I'm feeling because I'm alexithymic, that helps too. And then I could sort of pull myself back into this zone of feeling safe. And when I feel safe, I think better, if that makes sense. Friends, I hope that makes sense. It's kind of quick, but coloring it and writing it all out really helps me. All right, bye.
Hi, I'm William O'Flaherty from Adult Autism in 60 Seconds. What stood out to me when I heard this topic was the part about stuck mode. It's something I've been dealing with all my life, and since I got my autism diagnosis just less than a year ago, I seem to have even more difficulty in this area. It's only been the last few weeks that I feel like I've gotten a better handle on it when realizing the struggle will not go away. In fact, part of getting a better handle on it is admitting that there will always be a struggle. On a basic level, when there's something I need to do, I focus not on focusing on how big the project is, at least not directly. I'm of course aware of, or should know, what needs to be done, but if I dwell on that, then I easily get overwhelmed, and that leads to avoiding any part of the task. This means breaking things down into smaller parts within a bigger task in order to get things done. For example, I returned to work in November after taking a leave of absence that lasted a month. My workload has been gradually increasing, and at the time of this recording, I'm a week away from a lot of paperwork that's due. For me, focusing on all that must be done leaves me in stuck mode, but if I look at the smaller parts and work on completing them, then I can make progress towards the overall big task. I probably should go into more detail sometime on my own channel, but let me add briefly to something about the earlier part about always being a struggle. A key reason I believe this has to do with my Christian faith. I find many verses in the Bible that tells us that we can and will be struggling in life. In James 1, we find in the Contemporary English Version, "My friends, be glad, even if you have a lot of trouble. You know you learn to endure by having your faith tested." And this brings comfort to me.
In a few days, I'll be going to a conference to talk about autism and ADHD. Oh, hang on. This video isn't about that type of executive function. The other type of executive function is the ability to make decisions and act on them. As an example, take my decision to contribute to Jenny's Collab. I decided to make this video about a week ago, and I finally got round to making it a day before Jenny's deadline. Prioritization has always been a struggle for me. I constantly make lists of things to do, but actually doing the things on the list is difficult. I had no idea that this was linked to my neurodivergence until I was diagnosed as autistic in my early 40s. One of my executive function failures was my wedding speech, or lack of. I had decided to write one, but I put it off and put it off and put it off until I actually had to give the speech. That wasn't just procrastination. That was a failure to prioritize and a fear of failure. I think I'll always have executive function challenges. But on the positive side, if my brain wasn't wired the way that it is, I wouldn't be endlessly dreaming up creative projects, and I wouldn't be part of this wonderful autistic community.
Autistic struggles, of course, are different for everyone. And my, probably one of my biggest areas is sensory, as for many people. And basically, one of the biggest struggles for me is auditory. I'm a mom, and I became a mom later in life, and the noise. Kids are noise. And my oldest is 16 and my youngest is 8. And we try and play a lot of the quiet game. I know that's a common game for everyone, but we do acting out things and acting out, you have to try and kind of act out like charades, what you're doing and stuff. And sometimes that helps because just the noise can push me too far. Also, executive functioning. Well, I don't know the answer to that because I haven't figured it out yet. Basically for me, although it's unhealthy, it has to be something good happens that kind of snaps me out of a stuck mode is what I call it, to help me function better. Like, let's say my husband got a bonus or something from work that might help so I could function a little better, because somehow like it overrides and helps me get back in control because it's something good and happy. Or maybe my daughter did really well at a performance and it kind of just helps me move up in mood so that I can function better. It's not really a very successful thing because you have to wait for something good to happen, but that's what tends to work for me. I just need to find a better way. I hope you guys have better answers.
So I want to thank you for watching this video and watching everybody and hearing what they have to say about executive functioning. I know we all learned something from this. And thank you for those who joined. We're a part of this Creator Collab. And hope to see you in February. Bye.